Hello everyone, how you all doing? So another shorts. We've got quite a few going now. It's really interesting. The people I've been talking to have so many different things to say, so much wisdom in such short, simple ways, which is the point of these videos, that we are all incredibly wise, and sometimes simplicity is one of the wisest gifts. So I'm talking with Owen Bailey, who is a good friend of mine, and he is also a dancer of life, which actually is pretty cool because I know Owen well, and that's a good title for him. He won't say this, but I'll say he's a bit of a healer of people. He understands people, he lets people be themselves. So that's Owen. Hi Owen.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. So Owen, I'm going to ask you three questions. I'm going to ask you a question which with three bits in. So what three things, words, phrases do you want to unfold for you this year? What do you want for you this year? Three things.
Yeah, the three things I want to understand more of or unfold for me this year is trust, courage, and wisdom. And we're talking about being wise, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what would be your first steps towards each of those or one of those?
I think my first step is actually in the order I said it in, whether that was conscious or not, right? Because I feel like in order to find courage, there has to be an essence of trust. So for me, trust is the first thing to come in order for me to enable to embody the courage to find the wisdom.
Okay, cool. And so where would you do that? And what I mean is, what do you need? What do you need to do or not do to start that process?
What do I...
Not you personally, maybe,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but
I think
May we have your attention, please? Please note.
one of the things I would have done and I would invite to do is to ask, well, what is trust first and foremost? You know, we can say, oh, you need to trust in the universe, you need to trust in the next person, but what is that trust? So for me, it's a question first. What is trust, or where does that trust come from? And for me, is the first. It would be a very easy or simple sounding, very simple sounding first step.
okay, cool. All right. Okay, cool. And see, I told you people are wise. They just say stuff. I mean, just said stuff. So the words I choose for people, I choose them randomly. I don't actually pick. I think, and the word that I've chosen for you is something that you've already mentioned and something that we've talked about before, but I actually just chose it randomly for you, and that is courage. What does courage or being courageous mean to you?
So, that's a good question for me, because I'm not even on that phase of my three words yet. I'm still playing with trust. But I think courage is... It's funny because I'm thinking courage is having the trust. It's really funny because I think courage is having the trust, and the courage to interact with life, the courage to interact with the unknowingness of life. Because I think sometimes, life pushes up against us at various different times, and for me, it's asking for you to be. It's asking for me. I'll speak for me to be courageous.
Okay, yes. So that's interesting. So the trust is almost the first part to then go into the courage. Is that what you're kind of saying?
I'm kind of saying that, but we know we have different aspects of courage. Because there's a courage that just happens and just comes where someone may see something happening and a part of them just rushes straight in to help and to assist on that. Now, would we say that's courage, or would we say that's instinct, or would you say that's intuition? So then you can play around with that, right? So maybe a part of courage is something that just comes naturally within us, or maybe courage is something, or also courage could also be something of an action. So to act courageously, people say act courageously. How do you act courageously? What does that even mean?
Okay.
For me, I think it means that you have to have the ability or the willingness to let the ideas or the stories of who we think we are or who we think we're not, to step into the trust of that particular situation.
Right. Yes. Yes. So it's kind of a comfort zone thing, in the sense of I'm going to trust myself to not necessarily do what I usually do, because I'm in a situation where I can be actually more courageous and go further.
Yeah, because you just made me think of a question. How do you know you're being courageous? How does one know one is being courageous?
Yeah, because everyone's thought of courageous is different to everyone else.
Yeah, so maybe that's even a starting point. How do I know I'm being courageous? So, like I said, I haven't come to that part of my exploration of the word yet, but I think that's where, as I'm talking to you now, I think that's where I would start. How do I know I'm being courageous?
That's good, because it's supposed to recognise it and actually go. And so that's a bit of honouring yourself as well, as in growth, to be more courageous.
To be more courageous. In different situations.
Yes.
Because we are being courageous in creativity,
Yes.
being courageous in, helping someone, being courageous to step into your journey.
Yes.
Being courageous to walk away from certain situations. So there's many ways that I think we can apply the word courage or being courageous.
Cool. Thank you, Owen. See, told you. So it's been a bit noisy here, sorry, the announcements, but I think what Owen has to say is pretty wise. And I think maybe that's something to what Owen's just said to ponder on, is that what points in my life am I courageous, and what does that mean? What does, just because I did something really small could actually have been really courageous, and actually that's something for you to look at and notice yourself and see, where am I when I think I'm not, maybe actually I am. So that's great. Thank you, Owen. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye-bye, people.
Bye-bye, people. See you in the next video.